up next was MizTV. Now, I personally, I enjoyed MizTV until the Bellas came out and everything got catty. And even then, PCB came off as really catty too, especially Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte was like, because Miz was like, I know your father. He taught me the figure four, and I perfected it. Like, Miz had some great lines tonight, but then Charlotte was like, yeah, you really lived up to his legacy. Ooh.
And the really
Ouch.
crappy thing was, like, it came off as, like, Charlotte was judging him based on what he was wearing.
Right.
Like, oh, you're wearing that goofy Hollywood-esque clothing. How dare you? And then, like Charlotte, are you even aware of what your father wore to the ring when he was, in his prime? Like, he wore a feathered robe. Are you kidding me?
It's just, I feel like this whole thing, I know you're not going to get, like, anything really exceptional when it's Miz TV, and that's not supposed to be an insult to the Miz or anything, but, I mean, you should kind of know what to expect given the platform.
Yeah.
But I was really, hoping that, I don't know, PCB would lay down the gauntlet to the Bellas, or talk about the Divas Revolution, maybe even talk about, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn a little bit if they wanted to. Give a little shout out to Bayley down there. I still feel so bad for Bayley. She doesn't want to be left alone down there. But, and instead, though, it was just trading punch-outs between The Miz and PCB, primarily Charlotte and Paige.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, why? I feel like it comes back really, Ashton, to all of your criticisms in our opening segment, that being Heat of the Night, when you said that these women are still so one-dimensional and they come off so catty and this and that. They can be thoughtful. They can have stories to tell. They can have personalities. What are we so afraid of? And by we, I mean the system. What are they so afraid of by having them, just lay down the gauntlet, be confident, be strong, and more importantly, beat the crap out of the Miz? That's what I was waiting for. I'm like, okay, you're doing all this. Miz is going to shoot his mouth off one too many times. I mean, I would have just loved to have seen Becky Lynch put him in the disarmor. That would have been great, or Charlotte in the figure eight, or just something. And he got away scot-free. I just feel like this segment was really fumbled. I mean, that's the word I'll use to describe it. I've got nothing more to say than that because I feel like I already talked it to death in Heat of the Night. If you've got anything more to say, you could say it, but...
I'm just trying to avoid talking more about something that we've already talked about how much we hated it.
Exactly.
So, up next, we're going to move on to the match, which... And actually, you know what? I will address this. I didn't like that Charlotte was such a heel. And again, it kind of sticks to the one criticism that we constantly have for her. She acts like a babyface, but she talks like a heel. She needs to make up her mind.
Yeah.
She's not her dad. She doesn't have that kind of recognition, that kind of respect yet. She has to earn the ability to do that and still be looked at as a babyface.
Exactly, because until she does, it just comes off as so awkward. Like,
yeah.
What are you doing? And
then Paige, Paige even was super confrontational too. And I guess I kind of get that the Miz is supposed to be a heel, but when he's doing the Miz TV thing, at least as of recent, he more plays kind of the neutral role.
Yeah, and it was just so weird because Miz tried instigating something among the three women, just saying, well, who's the best of the three of you and this and that. And then I start to get a little intrigued because I'm thinking, before the segment all went to hell, I'm thinking, oh, well, they're going to talk about, who did what when, and maybe an implosion of these three is how we're going to determine a contender. We got no payoff of anything insinuated. Not Miz's insults, not him trying to stir the pot, not the Bellas running their mouths, nothing. It just, wow, man, what a weird
I find it funny that a few weeks ago on SmackDown, Meltzer reported that WWE officials viewed the tag team match that was Charlotte and Becky versus Naomi and Sasha as a disaster. To me, this was a disaster. This whole entire segment between MizTV, the confrontation with the Bellas, and then the match with the Bellas, those three combined was a disaster.
Yeah. Completely.
You start, okay, just to kind of try and put everything into perspective in the most, well, maybe not the most succinct way, but in sort of like a bulleted list format, right? Okay, first of all, The Miz makes fun of PCB for acting like they all like each other, even though obviously all women hate each other. Strike one, you immediately come off as a misogynist, which if you're playing the heel, that's great. But the fact that they didn't really say anything to rebuke that kind of annoyed me. Number two, Charlotte and Paige acting like heels when we're supposed to be cheering for them. Number three, the Bellas talking a bunch of trash that never got any kind of comeuppance whatsoever. Number four, the Miz's little "you wrestle like girls" line that never got any kind of comeuppance whatsoever. Number five, Nikki Bella's in-ring work. Period. Number six, Alicia Fox getting into the ring and having to eat the pin despite being the only person on her team that I would like to watch a 15-minute match from.
Yeah. I mean, she did get the winning pin in the tag match, though, so at least Alicia Fox got something back, I guess, because she pinned Paige here.
Oh, that's right. She didn't eat the pin. She got the pin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, then, you know what? I'm going to take back number 6 because that's a good thing.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, I agree with your bulleted list, on the whole. I don't know how you could have done this, but I feel like now that you've gone over the bulleted list and we talked about that, do you have anything you even want to say about the match? Because I don't. I mean, Team Bella got the win. They got away scot-free tonight. There's really nothing more to say than that.
Yeah, exactly. The match was a disaster. The crowd hated it. I hated it. I posted 2 angry tweets afterwards. And yeah, I'm not joking either. Like, I wish that I could be like, oh, I tweeted angrily afterwards, just in like that mocking way. But no, I literally just said, Divas Revolution my ass. This is nothing but a bullshit excuse for them to satiate NXT fans while keeping the title on Nikki. And then I proceeded to also say that Natalya, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Paige, and Alicia Fox all deserve so much better.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more, brother. Couldn't agree more. So what came after
I'm sure
this?
you would want to toss Naomi into that group, but I'm just not into her right now.
I'm kind of falling off.
Turn her face, then we'll talk.
Maybe. Cause yeah, with Sasha on the scene, it's all about that Banks, though.
That's right.
So.
Well, all right. Now we can move on. I believe that our next segment was the whole weird thing that went down with King Barrett and Stardust.
Yeah, pretty much Stardust just puts the boots to King Barrett. I guess because
For
he was
what
upset.
reason? Just because they lost? Didn't Stardust eat the pin and everything?
No, King Barrett ate the pin at the expense of Neville, so at least it made that kind of sense.
That's why, yeah, because Stardust was angry at Barrett for being a bad partner.
But then Stardust gets taken out by Neville. I mean, not completely. He's still conscious to, go up the ramp and everything, but he got out of dodge. He gave the ground to Neville. So yeah, that was pretty much that segment. So I guess Stardust and Neville are going to pick up where Stardust and Amell left off. I've heard rumors that Stardust and Amell isn't even over. I don't know.
Stardust needs to find a new partner, and they'll have another match then.
Yeah, maybe
I like that. I'm telling you, man, I enjoyed Amell in the ring.
You know what, dude? Maybe it can be Miz this time, because I heard rumors that it was supposed to be him originally, but of course, because of Ryback's staph infection, they had to stall the triple threat. But now that it's going to be Ryback and Big Show going forward in the program, Miz is freed up. Hey, Miz and Amell, just the whole Hollywood thing going on.
Yeah.
I think that would work. Let's do it.
The Miz even took a pot shot at Amell a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean,
talking about how he teach him how to act.
Yeah, I remember that. So there you go, guys. I mean, that to me seems to be a straightforward solution. And, maybe this time around Amell really would pin Stardust. I don't know. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. So now Jon Stewart is in the building. And he's going to explain why he attacked John Cena last night. And he's going to do the explanation tonight, right?
Right.
So then we go to a commercial. And when we get back, we get this explanation. And it was exactly what I speculated, which I love, because there was no even hinting towards it being this when the show happened, when he did the chair shot to Cena. There was no like, oh, it looked like Stewart was just trying to make sure that the 16 championship reigns wasn't broken. No, like there was nothing hinted at that. There were a few of us that just kind of jumped and arrived at that conclusion on our own, and he comes out and affirms it tonight, and I love it.
Yeah. It's very straightforward. I think you know what, for this particular crowd anyway, it was so relatable. So relatable, in fact, it got thank you Stewart chants. What's great though is that I love that this is basically like when Cena came out, and Cena did end up coming out, he basically explained to Jon Stewart what I wish the WWE, or what the WWE wishes rather, that they would have been able to explain to the fans more directly leading up to the match, because everyone was like, oh, we really don't want to see Cena get this 18th or this 16th title. It's going to be pandemonium, all, the Ric Flair thing and all that stuff, and people talking about how John Cena can't hold Ric Flair's jock and all that stuff. But now what we got, sure, Cena didn't win the world title, but now we're not going to get the Cena Invitationals anymore. And that was one of the best parts of Raw for such a long time. Yeah, it was. And we didn't get it tonight, and I guarantee you, even if you didn't take note of its absence tonight, you will as the weeks go by. You certainly will before Night of Champions. You
I
know,
wonder
and
if Seth Rollins is going to end up double booked at Night of Champions.
see, I've been wondering that now, and now my curiosity was just exacerbated given how Raw ended.
Yeah.
Because then what are you going to do about the U.S. Championship
Yep.
situation?
Exactly.
But yeah, Cena made that clear. And Flair had come out prior. He had said, hey, I wouldn't have minded, Cena breaking it. I wanted it to be broken by somebody I respect, and I respect John Cena, which got boos in the crowd. And then Ric Flair's like, hey, it's God talking right now. And it's just like, got the cheers back.
That's my line.
So good stuff, I guess, from everybody. Even Stewart, I think, played his part incredibly well.
He
Cena,
was so funny. Oh my God. He was
I
talking
bet.
about how, like, some people were happy, and of course the crowd cheered, and then he was just like, but to those individuals last night who had to comfort their children who wanted to know who the little old mean man was and why did he do that, I will tell you why. And it's just, he was so matter of fact about it. And then Cena comes out, and Cena was enraged. I have never, I'll tell you what, the last time I saw Cena this angry was when he made the angry face when Zack Ryder and Eve were in their storyline.
Yeah, it's good to see John Cena sell a loss for a change.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, I really like this.
Because he was so proud of having that U.S. title and making it mean something again. And now just, I love it, man. It was awesome.
He feels like all of his work has come undone because Seth Rollins has it, and in the grander scheme of things, the Authority has it.
And even Ric Flair was just like, you've ruined everything.
And I was a little bit surprised that they didn't mention Seth Rollins, getting his own statue, because knowing the beef that Seth Rollins, and Jon Stewart have, that would have probably really struck a chord with them. But I don't even really think they needed it for fodder, because again, the U.S. Championship and everything else, that seems sufficient. But I think my favorite line from Jon Stewart, because John Cena is just really digging into him, just really like, man, God, you have no idea what you did, you idiot! I can't believe you did that. And Andrew's like, but this is your chance to win it all back.
Yeah.
This is your chance. What am I?
I kind of want to sing a song.
And then John Cena's just looking at him like, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
And he said, look,
You did what you thought you needed to do, but now you'll excuse me if I do what I think I need to do. And then he gives him an AA.
Yeah. I mean, it was great to see John Cena sell the anger of this loss. And hell, that continues, after this segment, because he goes to the back, Renee stops him, and she's like, John, you just AA'd Jon Stewart. And then he's just like, hey, again,
I was doing what I thought was right.
I was doing what I thought I needed to do. And I was glad that me and Stewart got to have this chat. Now I'm going to have another chat tonight with Seth Rollins.
Yep.
So, there you go.
It was so good. Yeah, this is definitely some of the best work Cena's done in a while.
And again, given what we got in the main event segment, I have to wonder where that leaves Cena for this pay-per-view.
I'm telling you, man, I think he wants the U.S. title back. I think he's going to go. I mean, every title must be defended. It's Night of Champions. That is the stipulation. That's the gimmick. Every title must be defended. So Rollins is defending the world title against Sting. I think they're going to put him in a match against Cena for the U.S. title as well.
And you know what? That would
Cena
mean
is owed a rematch.
Seth Rollins in 2 high-caliber matches in one night, because it's not unusual for a guy to be double booked, but a lot of times it's a lower card matchup and then either like a mid-level card matchup or even an upper card matchup. No, with Seth Rollins, those would be 2 huge matches in one night. Telling you, Seth Rollins just changes the game all over the way. He breathes and he changes the game. That's just how good Seth Rollins is.
2015 Seth Rollins is like 2011 Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Do you remember when Ziggler was getting double booked for like 3 or 4 months in a row?
Yeah, man.
Difference is Seth Rollins is a champion.
Burn. All right, man. Do you have anything else you want to say about this segment?
That it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was really well done.